What is it really about? Is it about making a hit? Is it about riding a wave? Or is it about making timeless music? I feel like there are only a handful of artists who understand what it means to make timeless music. I think Big Crit is one of those dudes. I think J. Cole is one of those dudes. And I think Kendrick is one of those dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond that, it's slim pickings.
True.
You know? Because they just want to exist for 6 months or so. How long does a single last on the radio?
Long ass time.
Too much, you know what I'm saying, for me to feel comfortable turning the radio on to anything other than sports talk radio. But as fans, why do we hate success? We have an artist that starts off underground, they make great music, they're loved. But let that same artist achieve any amount of success and become popular, making the same type of music, and you're called a dick rider for supporting a mainstream artist, or fans will label that artist as overrated. Why does that happen?
It's probably a matter of individuals wanting to feel special. I knew about you way back when. I knew about you before. And then we feel like you've abandoned us. You know, you've gotten popular, you're mainstream, and everybody knows you, and everybody wants you to be a feature on their songs or their album, whatever. And it's like, well, now you're not mine anymore. And we have a tendency to like, no. I like what you're doing, and I like that I know about you before anybody else knows about you. We like to feel entitled. We are a very entitled society. We really are. And now that everyone else knows about you, you have to cater to not just me as the dozens or hundreds or thousands of fans. Now you have to cater to me being the potential millions of fans that you have now. But now you have to worry about commercial success, because now it's not just about, hey, I'm doing this for the love. Now you got to worry about your producers. You got to worry about your execs. You got to worry about the record label. Because now you're not just answering to, hey, the handful of people that are going to your shows and supporting you, and your girlfriend who's helping you sell the tapes out your trunk back in the day. But now you got to worry about the whole world and how they perceive you. So it makes it a lot harder to continue to ride for someone when you can see them changing. And really, they may just be growing. They could be maturing as an artist. They could be doing absolutely nothing wrong. But because of that, we may feel, you know what? Well, now you're not mine anymore.
So the appeal of entitlement, you're saying the appeal of entitlement matters more than the music itself.
It shouldn't. It should not, but I think that it does. I think that it does.
I think you hit the nail on the head, unfortunately. Stay Fly, how you feel about that, man?
It's all about feeling exclusive. I think a great and a current or not too old example is 50. How, you know, How to Rob and all that stuff was coming out. Before he became the megastar that he was, a lot of people were rocking with him. Talking about, you know, all his success as an underground artist, as a mixtape artist, he was knocking them out. And it was all high level stuff that he was tossing out to the world. But then once, like, you know, white chicks, you know, lyrics, people that you don't consider hip hop heads, spitting back lyrics, it sort of diminishes it a little bit for you, because you feel you appreciate it much better than they do. You understand things that they don't understand, and this could be, you know, complex or just broad. It could be like, oh, the double entendres or how they flip their bars, the metaphors, or it could just be overall their sounds. And like Bossman right here, Nifty, was saying, 50 now, his albums have way more chefs in the kitchen. Before it was just him. Whatever he wanted to do, you're independent. All you got to worry about is yourself. Sure. And so now, you know, you got your market is much larger.
Yeah.
And now, you know, mainstream is sort of like a dirty word in the hip hop community, but it's what you strive for, because you're trying to make money. You're trying to eat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
trying to make it.
At the end of the day, you want to get paid for what you love, and you want to get paid well.
So what can we say to these fans who become fans after the artist blew up? And they don't really do their research. They just hate because it's the thing to do because this artist is big. They probably don't know the artist's early work, and they're just passing judgment off that bullshit.
It's like when I was bumping 50 in a car before Get Rich or Die Trying, and somebody was in the car, and they're like, who the fuck is this? I was this 50 Cent. And they said, that's a broke ass rapper name. Oh, and then, you know, 6 months later, they know all
Bouncing
the
to
words
in the
to
club.
all his lyrics. They know, all the hooks,
Uh-huh.
and then they got the posters on the wall, and they got the T-shirts and all that shit.
Wow.
And
All that, man.
yo,
Yeah, the G-Unit wife beaters?
yo,
G-Unit this,
The
G-Unit
youngest
yeah,
wife
you know
beaters
that, right?
known to man.
the man bras.
Yeah.
And you can see it like that. Yeah, of course you're gonna feel a certain way about that because I was rocking with him when he was coming up. It's like you can make that as personal as you want, but yeah, you feel a certain way when people don't come from day one.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. What I have here is something that this probably might take up the rest of the podcast, to be honest with you. So ultimately, who is responsible for transforming hip hop from a genre that was very anti-establishment to a completely consumerism-based culture? Who do we blame? Do we blame the fan? Do we blame ARs? Do we blame the artist? Is it a mixture? Is it a combination of everything? Is it just the generations progressing? Who do we blame for the direction that hip hop has gone in and where we are now compared to, like what we grew up on?
Well, I mean, to be honest, man, everybody has a hand in it. The A&Rs, the fans, the artists. It's a cycle, man. And I mean, as hip hop has evolved, there's always been a push in the envelope. There's always been an element of taking it where it's never gone before. When it first started, it was about, being pretty much a reporter of what was going on in the hood. Straight up. I mean, just what life was like, telling the story, about what was going on, the message. That's where it started. And then,
Literally, the message.
after a while, it started transforming
Playing in my head
into,
right now.
party music and West Coast, East Coast wars, gangster rap, things like that. And then, transitioning, I think right around the 21st century, though, I'm not going to blame the South, but I know the South took it in a different direction.
They started having fun.
They started having a little fun with it, you know what I'm saying? Luke and them, you know what I'm saying, with the face down ass up and stuff like that. But it's a lot of different things that goes into it.
He was a pioneer.
I mean, all of them was pioneers, but with each pioneer, they're doing something different, right? Because that's why they're pioneers. And when you're a pioneer, you're doing something you've never seen before. And at first, when this being done, everybody's like, oh, no, that's not hip hop. That's not what it's about. But then people start rocking with it. And I think right now we have just got into a microwave society where we want it now. We want what's fresh and what's new and what's different now. And some of the elements of hip hop each time get stripped away. I know right now.
Oh wow!
I know right now. There's a big conversation about the masculinity of hip hop right now. And just pushing it.
I wasn't going to touch on that, but let's go ahead.
It could get there. It could get there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm all about creativity. I'm all about creativity, man. But I mean, I'm not about to be calling my man's hubbies and all of that.
Oh my God!
And you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we live in a society where androgyny is becoming accepted.
Well, it's
You
not.
know what I'm saying? No, it's androgyny, son.
Well, it's accepted, but the thing is the reason why it's accepted because it's shock value. And that's what hip hop and music has become now. Shock value. What can you say that can get people like, did he just say that?
It's a goddamn shame.
It's about hits. It's about hits on your Twitter account. It's about
That's
hits
nothing new, though.
Well, I mean, it was.
Case in point, Eminem. When Eminem first came out.
Oh, wow.
It's always been about the shock value. I mean, hell, NWA. Like, oh my God, these guys from California, the things that they are saying. What?
But the
shock value is different from what he's trying to say.
The shock value, though, was the punch in the mouth to get them to listen to you when it first started out. When NWA came out, when they came out with this stuff, man, fuck the police. All of that was to get you to listen.
True.
That wasn't just,
I
we
agree,
just saying fuck the police just so y'all buy our CDs. There was something behind it.
You're right.
Eminem, when he came out with all of his stuff, the Slim Shady, all of that stuff, that was so you could listen to the rest of his album.
I feel you.
He had a story to tell. We had a story to tell. Now, cats is wearing whatever they want to wear, so you will buy their album. Not even listen to it. They don't even care if you listen to it.
We do live in an era where everyone cares more about the artist image and the artist's
Yes.
personal life and the
Yes.
artist's Instagram posts.
Yes.
And if that's interesting enough, that will draw them into, you know what I'm saying, the music eventually.
Yes.
Celebrities.
Especially if they have a hit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand what you're talking about, and I've never even really analyzed it on that level. It's a damn shame to us that are old. You know what I'm saying? Quite frankly, but I hate to say it is what it is with this, man, because I feel like it kind of makes me wonder what's the future like. You know what I'm saying?
I'm scared
like,
for it.
What are we really in for? Is the future of hip hop and R&B doomed?
It's in peril. It is in peril.
It's not doomed, but what it is that you're gonna have to want to be conscious about what you want to do and what you want to hear. You have to search for it, because all of the stuff that's out there, it's a buffet of straight cotton candy. None of that's really gonna give you no nutrition. But if you want the vitamins, you know what I'm saying, you want the stuff that you need, you have to dig. You have to dig for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to be like, you dig through the crates. You gonna have to ask some people who have like-minded like you. Oh yeah, I heard about this guy. He's dope, man. Is he really dope? Or is he just what I mean? Nah, he's dope. All right, man, let me hear. And he get 30 seconds, right? Our attention span, even for
does get
even
30, probably
even
less than
even
30.
Yes.
man. The one thing as a producer, man, that I've learned, doing contests and working with people and having people try to fill you out, man, as far as your production, is you do not have long to get people to get in it with you.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, and it's more so harder as a producer than maybe as an artist who has lyrics or has a song to sing, because when you're making a track, you got to hit them hard within the 30 seconds, because after that 30 seconds, you know, they're just like, well, I can rock with it, or oh yeah, that's dope. And so for right now, I just think that with the social media and the Instagrams and the Twitter, which is a good hustle tool, but it makes your hustle lazy. Think about it. Back in the early, 2000s, when we didn't have all of that, you had to put your Instagram into your album. Your story had to be told in your album. You had to rap about what you wore in your album. You had to rap about what you do, trap or whatever in your album.
Yeah.
Now you can produce those images on Instagram. You can, manufacture, if you will, that image on your Twitter or your Facebook or whatever.
Well, you have to, because unfortunately, in this day and age, the consumer. Honestly, to answer your question from earlier, I blame it on society and the consumers, because we, generally speaking, are lazy. We don't want to listen. I remember I used to love going to the record store and looking through the old tapes, going to Tower Records, going to Willie's. I used to love being able to dig through there and seeing what I can find.
Before Napster shut it down.
But it wasn't easy to find what you were looking for, but it was fun. It was exciting. It was entertaining to find something new or to find a classic. It was great. Nowadays, everything's so quick. I mean, it's like microwave or microwave rap is the term for the show, this seems. But it's like everything is so quick and so easy. And yeah, you can put everything in Instagram or on all your social media. But like you said, back in the day, you would actually tell a story. But the consumers also wanted to listen. They actually and actively listened to your story. Nowadays, they want it quick. They want it fast. If you ain't got something for me that's really interesting that can be played on the radio and I want to hear it 50 times a day or a week, then I don't want it anymore. The consumers no longer care about the product. And so because of supply and demand, now these artists have to give the consumers what they think they want.
And that's the problem. That's the issue right there, I think, in a nutshell. Because that's exactly what the artists are doing. The artists are chasing what they think consumers want. And I mean, this goes back to why I appreciate Big Crit and J. Cole and Kendrick, because not only are they the few that are kind of, preserving that authenticity, that old school approach to being an artist, but more than anything, the fact that they're at the pinnacle. I mean, even though Crit isn't really on the radio like that, I think people respect him. I guess it's probably still just underground fans, to be honest. But Cole and Kendrick, they're at the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? And there's a majority there. I think there's a lot of people that will put them above Drake. It's kind of like Three Kings right now.
No,
you know what
you're
I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
That makes me wonder, like, if we look at the importance of, and this is kind of a 3-part question here, like just in this year alone, when we look at, where hip hop is right now in 2016, what is the importance? we'll start off with, what is the importance of authenticity in hip hop?
There is none.
We've seen some things go down in the past year or so that if it happened in the 90s, your career would be over. So if you if it was found out that you didn't write your own rhymes, which Meek I felt thought that was gonna be the one hitter quitter for
dagger.
Drake. He thought it was the end. And normally 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. You are done. You
Nope,
you didn't
sorry.
write your own.
Yeah,
But
the
he
big
had
joker.
it.
Yeah,
But
the
he
big
had
joker.
it. He had it in the credits.
He thought he did.
He credited the ghostwriters and everything, so it didn't have no weight. And right now, in this genre of just what is hot right now, they don't care.
Yeah.
When we came up, when we were listening to music, lyricism was important.
Very.
And as years go on by, it just kind of took a back seat because everybody want to have a good time now. Nobody want to really be challenged to think about things. And I mean, for me, I can't blame Drake. You know what I'm saying? He approached somebody with a hot song, with a hot 16, and he used it to his advantage. Authenticity is, I think, what he is. He was authentic about that. If you're giving credit, and and I know he don't swag it out like, man, I got it from my man, and you know what I'm saying, that's why I'm hot. But I think being authentic is possible is something that you want to do, but it's very hard because a lot of people want to portray an image, and it goes to that age old thing that we've been talking about for a long time, with trap music, with gangster music. Are you really about that life?
Yeah.
And we understand it's an entertainment business. And I think that one thing that Drake has showcased more ways than one is that he's an entertainer.
He is. I give him that 100%.
He's
man.
an entertainer, and the things that he rap about, I think he really does do. I think he does have, champagne parties and does all the things that he says he do. You know what I'm saying? And he raps well about that. Some of these cats out here, they might rap about, trapping. They might rap about, the women that they got and this, that, and the third, and it might be the case. But there's people looking out there to identify with that lifestyle, whether they live it or not. And, some people can tell what's, really real. I mean, case in point, Young Dolph right now. He's an up-and-coming, artist really doing big things. He's not really, in my opinion, a lyrical cat.
No.
But I think what he really makes his bacon off of is he's really authentic.
I like his sound.
Cats really, really, can identify with the things that he's saying.
Have I ever heard a Young Dolph song? I don't know that I have. Name a hit. Let me see if it sparks.
I can't do that.
I can't do that.
I can't do that. I do believe that you have heard at least. I do believe that you have heard at least one song, but I like his sound. I can't relate to him.
He's on the Cut It remix for OT Genesis and
Yes.
Okay.
My boy from DC, you know what I'm saying? I forgot his name right now. But what I'm trying to say is that he went from a mixtape scene now to mainstream, in his area, the whole Memphis area got behind him. And I wouldn't say that they wouldn't get behind just anybody. That's just in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got your Yo Gottis of the world, who I feel like they, in some people's opinion, is going maybe more mainstream. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some more people who would prefer to rock with Young Dolph. And obviously, these are cats, that may not be seeing eye to eye right now. On certain things, and I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit more in depth on this subject than maybe some of my counterparts at this table. But authenticity is certainly important, and I just think that it's definitely fabricated. But I mean, a lot of people just don't have a lot of time to pull your card on it. That's what it is right now. They don't really care because, like you said, it's about what they hear right here, right now. Nobody got time to really do their research to figure out if you really got all the chickens or not, or if you in the kitchen cooking this up. I mean, it's real easy to say that, you know what I'm saying? And then if you got a picture on Instagram doing it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not really hard to go ahead and sell that. It's not a tough sell, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Nobody really cares that much right now, man. So I
love it.
Got that food truck. out there.
yeah. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough to sell your authenticity right now.